So in this video, I wanted to take a quick look at the Zebra Fortia cone. This is a new pen from Zebra. I believe it's a 2019 release, probably within the last month or so. I just imported it from Japan. Cost me $8 off eBay. That's shipped, so a very reasonable price. Zebra has a really nice line in the Fortia. It uses their emulsion ink, which is a hybrid ink. Nice and smooth, really good writing. And we've talked about it a number of times here, like with the Zebra Blend, which came out last year. And the cone, again, is a new pen. It uses this, I guess it's cone shaped. It's more of a spike type shape to me, but definitely somewhat conical. The body, I believe, is aluminum. It has that cold touch of metal, and when you rub your hand along it, it has the feeling of aluminum, and it definitely feels sort of like it's a powder-coated metal. But the pen is very light. It's only about, I think, 16.5 grams, somewhere around there. So I'm not completely convinced it's aluminum, but hard to tell. Metal clip, big plastic button, nice button there. On the label we see price tag 500 yen. So I bought it for $8 shipped. That's right in line with what you'd expect. And the refill it uses is the EQ 0.7, and that is Zebra's emulsion ink with the that's called the EQ and 0.7 millimeter. Usually we see these pens in 0.5 or 0.7 millimeter. This one's probably sold in 0.5 as well. I bought the pen in this really cool green. I think it looks really sharp. It's a very similar green to this old Lamy, which was quite hard to find. The pen is also sold in a gold, a really nice dark blue, and a few other colors. If you look on eBay, you'll find it. Oh yeah, a white, black, light blue, teal, a silvery, and a pink, like a rose gold type pink. So really nice color selection, and it's got a sort of metallic color to it. Opening the pen up, we can see, this is another reason I think it's aluminum. You can see the bonding here. It's like this looks to be aluminum, and here we clearly see plastic. If this was plastic, it probably would have been one piece. Anyway, nice, thick piece of plastic. That gives it some weight, even though there's probably no brass or anything like that in there. Then we have the Zebra EQ refill. These are good refills, but they're hard to switch out. Like if you want to use this pen body, but you do not want to use a Zebra EQ refill, they're very difficult to replace, but they are good. And we'll talk a little bit more about what you could do about this later. And you can see that this aperture right here, this hole, is extremely small. So you're out of luck if you want to get another refill in here, like a Parker style G2 or a Pilot G2. Not too much else to see here, just really nice construction quality. We see there's a second spring up here, which is very cool, and then spring down here. Not too much else to see. Again, you can see it looks like it's uncoated or unpainted metal there, so I'm pretty sure the body is metal. Metal clip. Clip is fine, nothing special. If anything was disappointing about this pen, it would be the clip. It's a good sized pen. It's on the long side. I think it's 160 millimeters, right around there. Maybe, 140 millimeters. So good length, not gigantic. 160 would be really big. 140 millimeters. And just to get an idea of that cone shape, this is really what you're buying when the pen is called the cone. Here's it next to two very famous cone-shaped pens. This is the Retro 51 Tornado, famously cone-shaped everyday carry type pen. That one is quite short and kind of fat at the top. And then we have the Lamy Dialogue 2, which is very much a cone-shaped pen, much heavier, more expensive, obviously, completely different price class. And the two are more similar in size than the shorter Retro 51. I'll line up the bottoms so you can see. Dialogue is the largest, the Zebra Fortia cone in the middle, and the little Retro 51. I'm not saying they're inspired or in any way related. It's just an interesting design, having a largest part of the pen at the top and taper to the bottom. It's not something you typically see, with a lot of people complain about their pens being back weighted, and that being an uncomfortable way to design a pen, I particularly find it to be problematic, but it doesn't stop me from buying cone-shaped pens, it seems. As far as the comfort goes, it's really not that bad because the pen is more or less, I guess it's less tapered here, and then it tapers pretty hard here. So you have a good grip right in this sort of shoulder area, and I find it to be fairly comfortable right there. If you go too far down, you can write with it, but it gets very narrow. You go too far up, you lose control. But right here in this midpoint, it's not too thin, and it kind of gives you a distinct grip area without there being a very clearly defined grip. I find that the Retro 51, the Tornado, has a similar problem where I kind of don't know where to hold it, but this pen is completely metal and it's very heavy back here, so it really throws me off. That's actually the case with the Dialogue 2. This is a weighty pen, but this one has more of a defined grip area, and if you hold it back a little bit, not a problem. So the cone, it's a different issue because even if it is thinner and back weighted, the pen is so light that it's not a problem. So I do find it to be comfortable to use. Nice click, in case I didn't mention that before. Nice click. Cheap clip. It's one of those ones that is just kind of a stamped metal, and when you reach around it, it kind of feels sharp on the underside. So disappointing. So this is the Fortia cone from Zebra, and this is the 0.7 millimeter EQ emulsion, which is a hybrid ink. It's a nice ink. It's a good everyday ink. If you like the Jetstream or the Acro, this is a good one to try out. I don't think it's quite in the league of the Acro. I think that's really the best ink in this class, the Pilot Acro, but I do like the Zebras a lot. What I tend to do with these pens, I move over to this refill, which is the Zebra EQ, but this is the 1.0, so it's a 1.0 millimeter refill. And this one adds a little bit of width, obviously, and it's quite smooth. It's like the 0.7 is good. The 1.0 for me is one of the best refills out there. And here we have one of Zebra's newer pens, the Blend, came out last year. And this one's really top notch, probably better than the cone for me. And this one I moved from that same refill. This might have been the 0.5, but yeah, it's on here somewhere. Anyway, this has the EQ 0.5 millimeter. Oh, sorry, this is the NC 0.5, whatever, they're interchangeable. But I moved it to the EQ 1.0 millimeter, and you can see that here. This is the Zebra Blend with the EQ 1.0 millimeter. And you can see that it's a fatter line, definitely smoother, a lot more ink going down, and that color really pops. I really like it in the blue, though the black obviously is really clean as well. So that's the Zebra Blend, still one of my favorite pens of the past year. And that's like calendar year, right? It did come out in 2018. As for the Zebra Cone, I think this is a really solid pickup. If you're cruising eBay or Amazon Japan or Rakuten or AliExpress, whatever you use, and you see one of these, I definitely say pick it up for $8. It's a pretty good deal. Might be a little bit more, a little bit less shipped to wherever you live, but have been enjoying this, and I think Zebra is doing a really good job lately with their pens. This has a nice build quality, really nice color. I love this green, and the other colors look to be just as nice. Looks like there's a really nice blue, a couple blues actually, a solid black, and they all use a white clip too. Sorry, they all use a black clip, so if you buy the white body, you get a cool Stormtrooper type look with a black clip, black button, and then the fully white body. So yeah, that's the Zebra Cone, about $8. I believe it came out this year, and highly recommended. One of my favorites, though my Blend, the Zebra Blend, is definitely the way to go if you want to buy just one and you don't have a Blend yet. Fortia Cone is quite solid. I like the design, I like the cone shape, I like the button, I like the ink. Not maybe quite as comfortable and not quite as designed well thought out as the blend. This has some really cool innovation in it. The cone is a lot simpler, but still manages to be a very effective pen. So thanks for watching.